All right, Mark Rogers TV back with you to talk college football, and the absolute best source for college football coast to coast is the guy that we've got on the line right now. It's been a while, Joe Lisi from GoForThe2.com. Joe, how you doing tonight?
I can't wait, Mark. A long off season of college football, but we're about 2 months away. Can't wait for the start of the season.
I know, Joe. If you follow the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, any of these other sports, it's like the off season's it seems like it's about 36 hours and they're back at it. But with college football, seems like we haven't seen college football forever. It's been since the second week of January when Clemson, of course, won the national championship over Alabama. It's about this time of year that we can think forward. We can look at the schedules. We can project based on some of the disappointments from last season. And even though the SEC showed itself again on National Signing Day to be bringing in the best talent, also showing to be sending the best talent to the NFL draft, to the SEC, very dominant on both sides, there's a number of coaches that aren't necessarily feeling comfortable and could potentially be on the hot seat based on some disappointments over the last few years. So let's run down some coaches in the SEC. You've got Butch Jones at Tennessee. Okay, he brings in 3 or 4 consecutive top 15 recruiting classes. He brings it from a program that was 5-7 prior to him getting there. They go to 7-6. They win 3 consecutive bowl games. They've gone 9-4 the last 2 years, but Florida continues to push them aside to win the SEC Eastern Division. So Tennessee fans have to be a little disgruntled. They thought they had the team last year that would get it done, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's an intriguing team in Tennessee. I mean, expectations are high each and every year. They brought back 17 returning starters last year, and they were the darlings to win the SEC East, and they finished 9-4 overall. Defensively, this defense was atrocious in run support last year. They gave up 212 rushing yards per game. That was with Derek Barnett and Jalen Reeves-Maben. You're talking about a defensive unit, Mark, at the end of the season that allowed over 400 rushing yards to Missouri and over 400 rushing yards to Kentucky. I mean, they won both of those ball games, but they lose Maben, they lose Derek Barnett, their all-time sack leader. And you're talking about an offense now that starts the year without Josh Dobbs, without Alvin Kamara, without Jalen Hurd, and without Josh Malone. And you look at the better teams now in the SEC East that have solidified quarterbacks entering the 2017 season. Jacob Eason, you have Drew Lock with Missouri, Jake Bentley with South Carolina. I mean, this is a loaded conference. I just don't think it's going to be a very productive season for Butch Jones. I actually have the Volunteers projected at 6-6 overall. I just think teams like Vanderbilt are getting better. This was a Vanderbilt team that knocked off Tennessee last year by 11 points. They traveled to Knoxville, but again, look at all the players that are going to be missed from that lineup. I think it's going to be a long 2017 season for Butch Jones, and unfortunately, I think he'll be out of a job by the end of the year.
Georgia's very intriguing to me with Jacob Eason coming back at quarterback. I know that he was not stellar as a freshman, but there's usually that leap from the freshman season to the second year. And then with Sony Michel and Nick Chubb back in the backfield for Georgia, maybe the Bulldogs are going to benefit from those guys not exploding and moving on to the NFL as many expected a few years ago. And the defense, I believe, has 9 starters coming back. So Georgia, keep an eye out with another great recruiting class coming in under Kirby Smart.